Hi, welcome to the Price Action Analyst YouTube channel. I've been away for a while, as some of you might have noticed, and I'm back. I've decided to start making videos again. I am particularly interested in what's happening in the silver and gold market, and so I'm going to be talking about silver today. I'm also kind of had time to think about my trading strategy, and I'll try and talk about how that's going to look going forward. But let's hop right into silver. This is a monthly chart of silver. This is SLV. This is the silver ETF, the major silver ETF listed on the S&P. These are monthly bars, so this peak here is about 2011, and so the short summarized story in monthly form is that we've had a push up to about the $48 level here, and that was in July, March, April 2011. Price has come down to around these previous lows of $20 and inside that, and it's formed a base. This base doesn't look very long on the monthly chart, and what we've seen here, this has all happened around the COVID scam, is we've had a very strong breakout here on high volume relative to the average volume before that, and price is forming a pennant pattern and is very prone to break out of that pennant pattern on the upside. So just bear with me here for a sec while I get my so when we have an up move like that, price is very prone to eventually make a second move. This is all very bullish. Just looking at the chart pattern, this is very bullish. This is a very dependable, high probability trading pattern. What you ideally want to do is capture an entry around the lows here. So if anything, this video is a little bit late, and you're anticipating that sort of move. So, you know, this has happened in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. Expect to see $30, $35 silver in the next 5 months. It might happen sooner than that. So the chart looks good. The money printing and all the bullshit that we're seeing is historically great for silver. When this happens, it's not the first time that governments have printed money. From my understanding, it's the same thing the Romans did. We're repeating the same stupid mistakes over, not we, but the people in charge, and that historically is good for silver. People will go back to what they see as real money. And also, prior to all of this happening, the demand and supply fundamentals were good for silver. I've heard that there's only two things that are cheaper than they were in the 80s. It's silicon chips and silver. So, you know, my entry price is down here somewhere, my original entry price. I still think there's a lot of upside in silver. It's just a matter of your entry point now and your risk tolerance. So now we're zooming into the weekly chart of this latest pennant pattern. So we're ignoring all this historical stuff and zooming in on the shorter time frame here. You can see that price pushed up to about the $27, $28 level, had a retrace, and this first retrace here is the support level for this pennant pattern. It didn't get down to the support level, but why this is important is because when price came down and washed that level, so this level here of support is about the $20.60, look what happened when price washed here. You've got immediate buying represented in that wick, push up, another test of that area, immediate buying. This is all happening at the Bollinger Band and a wash of this level. So buying strength of that wick, and so prices come back inside. It's come back inside that pennant pattern, tested, and it's pushing up again. And so what's happened here is with this last push, it went up to the $24, $25 level. You had selling pressure off the top of this pennant pattern trend line, which you'd expect. You're also pushing through support. We're getting our retest of support here, and price now in the shorter term, expect it to test this top trend line and break out of here. So ideally we're going to see something like that. So let me just get a shape here. And been kind of out of the game with these trading charts for a while. I've gone to longer term trading since I've been out, so these videos will get better as we go on, so just bear with me. But the point of here is this depends on your risk tolerance. You could buy now, it's a little late. This was your ideal entry down here. It's $20.50 area, $21. I'm expecting price to keep pushing up here. There'll be a little bit of selling pressure here, but I think the overwhelming push here is bullish. It's to the upside. So even if you get selling pressure here, expect it to be short-lived before you get a push outside. And once you get this convincing push outside, again, you're going to get some selling pressure here. So as price comes up here, expect a sell-off, expect a push back. I would hit the retest of that trend line, and that's about $24, $25. So when you see price get up to 27, 28 and you're like, oh, it's getting away from me, ideally I wouldn't hit the buy button there. Wait for your retrace and hit that. If you get any wicks here, wicks like that, as price comes down here, it starts to form wicks. Buy within those wicks, and then I would ride that up. So that's the weekly chart. To me, that's on the chart, that looks extremely bullish. With all the other, I guess, fundamental stuff that's going on with silver, I'm extremely bullish on this. I think this is kind of what everyone's been waiting for with the silver price action you're now seeing in this chart. And again, this breakout here is happening after silver formed a base between, June 2020 to April 2013, so that base is 7 years long, give or take, and everyone's been expecting the price to go up, and here it is. It's finally punched out of there. It's forming a pennant pattern, and I think price is prone to move up from here. So I'm going to leave it at that for silver. I'll just show you, you can buy silver. There's a couple of other ways to play it. I've got 2 silver miners. I'm going to look at this on a weekly chart. This is SLVRF, Silver One Resources. This is a weekly chart. You've had price come down with the silver price. It's kind of, attempted to push out here, retraced, and then you've had the push out. This is, you could say this is a pennant pattern that failed. Prices come back down to this level of support here. It's tested the support. This support level looks like it's going to hold. You've got wicks there, but price has not moved down that far. There's a wick here, and you've got buying pressure again, and so I'm really expecting price to move up here and eventually test that top trend line at least. And I think with silver doing what silver's going to do, eventually you will see price push out of here. But you know, your short-term trade's probably where it is now, 38 cents to around the 60-cent level. I think it's very reasonable to expect to see that in the next few months. My plan here with the new kind of format is I'm basically going to be trying to point out ideal entries for people, and then I'm going to leave the exits up to you. You decide where you take profit. My personal thing is to make ideal entries and then look for a 20 to 40% return and capture that return, and then look for another entry, and just to keep compounding that way. So that's how this channel from now on is going to be set up. So one last one and we'll call it quits. This is AG, First Majestic Silver. So longer term, so these lines sort of roughly parallel. You've had a big push up and price for a long time. This is 2011, so this is extremely long time frame. I mean, it's pushed down here, but it's basically traded within this downtrend. And what you're seeing here is price is broken out of here. You had a big run up, and it's retracing. And this is what I was expecting SLV RF to do. And silver is when they break out of that top trend line, you're going to see a retrace and a test of that top trend line, and you can see it's come back inside. This has been quite a deep trace, deep retrace, but I believe what price is doing now is it's going to push out of here, and all right, it might do something like that first, so be it, but price is going to start coming and searching eventually for the $22-23 level, and then we'll see. My entry here was, I think, around the $11 level for this one. Price went up and then it tests my entry, but it's moved in my favor. So I'm holding on to this because I think it's going to push above this $14 high in the next few days, and then its first area of resistance is about the $18 level. So I think you'll see a temporary sell-off and retrace there before it comes and tests this previous high at $23. So entry wise, the ideal entry is down here, and this is the type of entries I plan to point out in future. This is a very late entry, but I think here price is going to continue to push up. I think if you bought here, you might, worst case scenario, $14 to 11. I don't think it's likely to do that. I actually think price is now going to push. If you get a retrace here, it's going to be a very shallow retrace, but I think price is going to push up to this $18 level. And I think it's going to do that over the next few weeks. So I will leave it there. That's my silver wrap up. I'm hoping to do these videos again relatively frequently, and I'm hoping to sort of nail ideal entries for trades, stock trades and crypto trades, and just leave it at that. It'll just be, here's ideal entries, and then you do what you think is best. So thanks for tuning in, especially if you're tuning in after all this time. I'm hoping to speak to you on a more regular basis. Thanks a lot.